Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Talk Podcast. Let's talk about a possible consequence, a negative outcome that some women might face while following radical feminism by buying into the feminist mindset, believing the lies that this movement has been pushing towards women, by joining into the sisterhood that is going to feed you with everything you like to hear just to keep you at the end at a miserable state in life. I have this video that's actually going to show exactly what I mean with negative consequence that a lot of women might possibly face if they follow radical feminism, or to be honest, feminism in general.
I'm so sad right now because I just came to a realization these past few days have been so hard for me. Because you know how men say that women have toxic feminism and you get to a certain age and no one would want to marry you and no one will love you. I feel like I've gotten to that point, I was so hung on to this feminism thing and I missed out on marriage and on children. And now I'm at a point in my life where I'm so bitter. I'm so jealous of people who have marriages because they're so happy and their husbands don't even cheat on them. And men are just the best. Right now is when I'm realizing I can't do without them. And right now I'm I don't care if you are rich or poor, tall, dark, handsome, ugly, I don't care by the way. As long as you're a man and you're breathing, that's the only qualification I need because I'm just so desperate for a husband. There's a lot of pressure around me, so if you can deal and propose, I'm sure I'll be.
So guys, you have seen the video clip and it is heartbreaking. It is not nice to see this woman in particular going through this situation of unfortunately realizing that the choices she has made over the years were not the best. But trying to understand how this might have happened and why this is going to happen more and more is because women have bought into believing the radical feminist movement by listening and following the sisterhood that is not going to put you in the position in life that you want to be in. A lot of these women who are following feminism, who are in this bubble of sisterhood, don't want the best for you. It's a gathering of women who are miserable, who are living in delusion, who don't like to be accountable. They group up and start blaming everything in life on men. Men are trash. Men are misogynist. Men are bad. Men are gonna cheat on you. Men ain't shit. All those negative things that you hear women saying about men. And they make this seem like you don't need a man because these women have been choosing wrong men, following the bad guys for years, not being accountable for the choices they've been making, how they pick men, find themselves dealing with a lot of traumas. And instead of thinking, oh, what have I been doing wrong in the process? No, they are going to put all men into one bucket and say all men are bad. There's this narrative going out that if you get married, why you want to get married? He's going to cheat on you anyways. Reality is women cheat as well. Women cheat almost to the same rate as men cheat. And it is painful that this is the only thing that women see nowadays, that, oh, your man is going to cheat on you so you don't need him, which is not true. Not every relationship works like that. And if you are the woman who gives all your man is looking for in a relationship, most likely there's no need for him to cheat. It is true that men are preferring to have multiple women, but one thing is that not all men are going to exercise their options, and not men can exercise their options. But I think this cheating topic is going to be a whole different episode. The problem is that the narrative about relationships and marriage is always negative. It seems like nobody has great experiences, nobody has people surrounding them who have shown and proven that a family foundation and being in a relationship has great outcome. The numbers of people speaking out about relationships is always in the negative. It's like you hear the volume of the people who are always talking bad about relationship is so loud in compared to people talking about how great relationships is. And if you think about it, look, people who are living a great life, people who are having great relationships, they don't need to put their relationships out there and say, oh, it's so beautiful. Look what we're doing together. Look what we achieved together. This is how we're doing it, because they are investing their time in their family. They don't need to go out on the internet and start talking about what they're doing in their private life. While on the other hand, people who are miserable, they love to share their misery, because misery needs company. So what is actually happening is that women have been told over decades that you don't need a man. You don't need family. Family, children is a burden. A man is controlling. You can do it all on your own. You can have children at any time. It's like they've been pushing this idea that biology is a scam, which is completely nonsensical. Women have been told you can have it all. Women have been told you have endless of options. You can get a man at any corner. And unfortunately, a lot of women have bought into that lie. And over the years, getting older, they suddenly realize, oh my God, the options I used to have, the attention I used to get when I was in my teens or early 20s or mid 20s is not the same as me being in my 30s and up. They're realizing the pool of men that they would like to get, they're not available because these men have moved on. These men have their own families now, or these men are looking for something completely different that you bring to the table. They're realizing that I cannot do it on my own. They're realizing that life is much more difficult facing everything on your own. They're realizing, unfortunately, when it's almost too late, that teaming up with someone and building a life with someone and going through life with someone is actually beautiful, instead of sitting in your home alone, just going to work. All you do is you wake up, you go to work, you're coming home to a place where there's no one there. And this is what is going to happen for a lot of women. We don't see the future. We only look at the now. A lot of women don't understand that right now you might be fit and able, but what happens when you do get ill? And then the other thing is, a lot of women, when we're younger, we tend to think that, oh, I don't want children. Why should I want children? There's this idea of, oh, this world is so bad. Why do you want to put children into this world? And there are already so many people on this continent, which is on this planet. I'm sorry, there are so many people on this planet. Why should you want to have more children? You want to save the planet and all that stuff, which is propaganda. It's a lie, right? Because when you talk to people about that, the only places they tend to pick is, oh yeah, but why don't you look at India? There's so many people in India. Why don't you look at Nigeria? But Nigeria and India is not the whole planet, right? In the Western world, we are lacking children. the system, the security systems, the social security systems are actually built on one generation providing for the next generation. But if there's no children coming in, well, it's going to look very bad for the current generation and for the next generation to come in future. So it's a disaster in so many areas. But these women then realize, oh, maybe I do want to have a family. Maybe I do want to have children. But what happens is you're already in a bad situation of finding the type of man that you want, a provider, a leader, with certain looks, with certain attributes. And then you might be almost too late. Like you might find yourself in a situation where you cannot even reproduce anymore because, like it or not, biology is always going to win. As a woman, you have a certain time in your life where you can have children, and you can have them easier when you're younger without facing so much trouble in terms of illness or, having hardships getting pregnant, or the older you get, for example, and you do want to get pregnant, the risk of that child having disabilities is so much higher. Like there's so much that comes with it, but these women don't want to see it. And other women don't want to be honest to each other and talk about these things, because why? If you stop being honest to another woman, you are forcing yourself to be accountable of your own choices. It's like you're pointing the fingers at yourself of the things that you have possibly done wrong, and no one wants to admit that they might have been wrong in their life. And also, for us, it's like, no, why should I tell her how it works? Why should I see and make her win while other people were telling me this is how it works? I followed it. I fell into this lie. Why should I now open another woman's eyes and tell her this is how it works? So to me, the sisterhood is a very dangerous thing to follow. They are great women who are honest. They are great people who are going to tell you the truth. But in general, this feminist movement, this radical feminism, this sisterhood that only wants you to follow a certain narrative, it is dangerous long term, because when you then find yourself being alone, not getting the things that you want, these women are not there. Feminism is not there to hold you, keep you warm, support you, right? You're just going to face this outcome on your own. So I really wish that some women who are still following these ideas, that they please wake up and understand that life has consequences. The choices you make today have consequences, and they're going to impact your life tremendously. It's the same way some things that we have invented as human beings, they seem to be great at first, but long term it was great damage. It was catastrophic. The same thing with the contraceptive pill. I'm going to talk about this very soon in a whole different episode. I'm going to dedicate a episode to the contraceptive pill, because it is a revolutionary change to us as human being, right? The contraceptive pill has opened doors to so much that is happening today in a negative way. However, guys, I hope you enjoy. See you in the next one.